हार्ड कॉपी था तुम्हारे पास है ना?
ఏమన్నా ఏం చేస్తాడు
permanent address of extra official.
फ्रॉम नंबर आया वैसे डेली के कौन यार वो
Hello everyone. Can someone confirm that am I audible? Yes, sir. Thank you so much. Can you please ping me? I would like to share my screen. Okay, guys. We are waiting for 2-3 more minutes and then we are going to start. Let's your other friends come and join this session. Whatever in this session, for the session, if you have any queries, any Q&A, please go through the chat and let us know. Me and your mentor for today will take all the questions. And we are going to start around 8:04. Yes, guys, someone saying not audible. So let's start this session. Let me share my screen and let's start this Masai Mega Coding Carnival. Hello, everyone. Very good evening to all of you. Welcome to Masai Coding Carnival. Let me share my screen and yes. So first, let me introduce myself. This is Aman Singhal. I am alumni of IIT Kanpur, co-founder and ex-CEO of Preply. And currently, I'm working with Masai School to share the common dream, common vision to make sure that each and every individual achieve their potential, realize their potential, and achieve their dream. That is becoming a coder or developer or any kind of a job. We see there's a huge potential in the students, and due to lack of awareness, lack of resources, they are not able to do it. So together, we are in this journey to make sure we are working for you, and we will unleash the fire that is, that is there within inside you, and together we are going to achieve that dream. So that is all about me. Let's talk about the Masai. So Prepleaf got acquired by Masai, and together we are starting this carnival. So talking more about Masai, Masai started in 2019 with a vision to to help each and every student realizing their potential, to make sure that they understand what they can do, what they're able to do. They can learn skills, and through learning skills they can transform that skill learning into getting a job. So till now, at Masai School, we have more than 2,000 students who graduated from our courses. More than 6,000 students are currently working, currently studying with us. Our placement record has been 95%, and average CTC has been 7.5 LPA. Now you must be wondering, how can they have this? All these numbers look so good, and how can all the students get the success that how can a student who is from 12th pass, who is from mechanical branch, who is doing the BA, can get a job in coding? Because we believe in a very single line that jobs are not related to colleges or degrees. Skills are related to jobs. If you're skilled, you deserve to get a job, and that's a vision that Masai have. Yeah, and till now, if we talk about some more numbers, total 193 families Masai till now has helped the people who were below poverty line, means those who couldn't afford the basic needs. We have helped more than 193 families in coming out of that poverty line. Together with the National Skill Development Corporation, Masai has been collaborated with NSDC to share their vision that skill is the fundamental, that by developing their skill, learning their skill, and without even having the proper degree or the proper college, we can get a job, right? So together we have impacted 1.5 lakh students in tier 2 and tier 3 cities, in which most of the students are from tier 2 and tier 3. And the one most important fact, which is again a myth for the students, and once when we were a student, there was a myth that if we are not from computer science, we are not from IT background, how can we learn coding? This myth has been completely overtaken, completely removed by this Masai curriculum and pedagogy. More than 65% students that has joined Masai and that has got a job are from non-computer science background. Plus, as I told you, Masai has already been associated with National Skill Development Corporation of India. So together we are in this journey to make sure that each and every student should get skilled, should realize their potential, and achieve their dream success of becoming a developer or a coder. Right now, this is all about Masai, but we all are here to know more about what is this coding carnival, right? And who are the people who are going to take this carnival, who are going to teach us what to become, how to become a coder, right? So first, let me talk about the panelists, that the people who are you going to meet in the upcoming 5 days. So people, Masai co-founders, Masai leaders, Masai instructors, and industry experts has come together to make sure that they can aware the students that there is no prerequisite to become a coder, to become a developer. Okay, in this upcoming 5 days, we are going to learn how to become a software developer, like from zero to become that developer, to start working in the companies called Facebook, which is now known as Metaverse, Apple, Amazon, Netflix, Google. How can you achieve that skill so that you can be started working in these companies without even being graduated from colleges like IITs or NITs, or without being having a degree of CS or IT. Okay, how can you achieve that part? What is the roadmap from to become a software developer? How to build a career in tech? How to start your career as a front-end developer or a back-end developer or a full-stack developer? This is what we are going to learn in the upcoming 5 days. Few important concepts will be taught through the industry leaders and the Masai experts in the intro to programming, and how to crack tech jobs in 6 months. So because at Masai currently we are having these small 6-7 month courses through which students are transforming their lives, learning these skill sets and getting the tech jobs. What's the formula behind that? What is the pedagogy behind that? You are going to learn all these things through the people who have developed that pedagogy. You are going to learn how to be like transformation from of a college graduate to a person who is working in companies like Microsoft, Google. This is what you are going to learn. Plus, many times students say, sir, we have done the skill sets, but we can't showcase these skill sets in our CVs, and companies are looking for CVs. All of us know. So this is where one of the important sessions that is going to take place, in which we are going to show you how to get these projects, how to, when you are doing some projects like do it yourself projects, how to get these ideas and how to showcase these projects in CVs is all you are going to learn in upcoming 5 days. These 5 days basically will be a fundamental for you to break the myth, to make you sure that you understand that there is only one thing required to become a coder or developer, which is the zeal, which is the intent. And if you have that intent or that zeal, together we are going to help you in becoming one of the best coders. So that is the most main motivation of this coding carnival. I welcome all of you to this mega event. Before I'll hand it over to Varun, who is going to take this first day of coding carnival. Let's know more about Varun. So today's topic, first let's talk about today's topic. Today's topic is roadmap to becoming a software developer. Right. So all of you are student right now thinking like, what can I do to get a job in this company? How can I start my career as a software developer? Today we are going to talk all about it. Varun, who is in software engineer currently, who has worked with EA Sports as a software engineer. EA Sports, I hope all of you know. All of you might have played their games, FIFA, cricket, right? So Varun has done his masters from IIIT Hyderabad in computer science, and after that he has joined EA Sports as a software engineer. He has done working on some advanced level technologies like search engines, IoT platform, and at Masai he is one of the core. He has played a major role in developing that pedagogy. Pedagogy means how to teach. He has played that role in how to develop a pedagogy to make sure that every student can learn the technical skill sets, whether the student is from technical background or a non-technical background, engineer background or a non-engineer background, or whether they have just know the basics of aptitude. How can they become a coder? So, and that Varun has played a major role in those teams. Varun, talking more about Varun, Varun has helped more than 10,000 students. He has taught more than 10,000 students within his journey at Masai School and previous. So he is going to tell you more about what's the roadmap from going from zero to become a software developer. Okay, so I'll stop my screen. Varun, are you there? Hello, Varun. Okay, Varun, can you please raise your hand? Okay, Varun will be joining in a minute. Till that time, let's talk more about Masai and how does we get this vision and get this dream, right? So it's very simple. All of us has been a middle class family, through a middle class family. I'm from and from a branch which is totally irrelevant to the tech. I was from material science and engineering background. Here we are learning about core technologies, and today I'm working as an analyst. Okay, so transformation from when I do this part, I realize is this, like we can transform through if we know the right path, if we have the right resources, if we are aware about the choices that we are making, we can become, go into the field of tech, we can go into the field of analytics, right? And together, and hence we started this company Masai School with a vision to help all the students, those who are currently, who wants to, who are sharing the same vision, who are sharing the same needs, but they couldn't do it due to lack of resources. Right? Till the time Varun is joining, I would love if you have any questions, we can discuss those questions first. Yeah, guys, please shoot your questions in the chat, and Varun will be starting in a while. Till the time we can talk. Which programming language we learn in this session? This is not about learning any language, guys. This is about the base, the roadmap. Like how can you develop those skill sets? How can you learn that the system in which now you know nothing, but what are the skills required to become a software developer? Okay, we have so many questions. Guys, please go slow. How we enhance our skills? Enhancing our skill is not a one-day thing. It's a marathon. Enhancing our skill is a marathon. You need to understand this part. Rome was not built in a day, and this is one fact. No big things can achieve in a single day. Step by step, we have to take and to reach to the place where we will see that okay, it's a journey of 6 months, 7 months. Someone will take 2 years to reach out to the place where they can say, now I'm confident in becoming the coder, right? Diploma from computer science person can join the course. Anyone who has cleared the 12th class can cover this course, because the pedagogy has been designed in such a manner that anyone who has the basic aptitude, and most important, who has the zeal and the intent to learn, can join this course. But this 5 days is not about the course. These 5 days are about developing that aptitude, and see whether we can become the developer or not. And you will see by the end of the 5 days, I promise all of you that all of you will have this feeling that if I will work hard, I can become a developer or a software engineer by the end of 5 days. Okay, and then we'll talk about any course or something, right? So hello, Varun.
Yeah, hi Aman.
And who
Sorry,
better than
there
Varun,
was
who has
a
developed
there
this
was some
pedagogy
issue
in
for
Masai school, to tell you more about how to start your career as a software developer. Over to you, Varun. Thank you, everyone.
yeah, thank you, Aman. Okay, so first of all, how are you, everyone? How are you all? Okay, nice. So there's a lot. Okay, so let's start this journey, like which will see like what is all about software developer is all about. And I would say कि हाँ कि बहुत सारी चीजें समझ में आएंगी. It's just that कि sequentially you will understand that maybe you are at that part. You are any like right now you are in very initial part of your journey, okay, where you don't have like where you didn't have like where you don't have any idea कि कौन सी चीजें आने वाली हैं. Okay, so basically we will see, but just I will show you the like overall things कि कौन से opportunities which you have. Okay, so 1 second, I'm sharing my screen, then let's start. Okay. So first of all, let me know, is it visible? अच्छा ठीक है, कोई बात नहीं. ठीक है, कोई बात नहीं. हिंदी इंग्लिश दोनों चलेगा. ठीक है, तो डोंट वरी. ठीक है, ठीक है. So basically, when I'm talking about this thing, first of all, our today's topic is roadmap to becoming a software developer. ठीक है. So अभी देखते हैं कि what are all topics which we'll cover today. So the first thing is which we'll see what is software developer. Software developer है क्या? Okay. Skills required to be a software developer. Importance of data structure and algorithm. How DSA helped me, and 5-step process of DSA to build skill, web development, why web development, main components of web development. ठीक है, पूरा का पूरा पैक है. ओके, पूरा का पूरा दिवाली पैक है. सो डोंट वरी, अभी बिल्कुल इनिशियली से बिल्कुल बिगिनिंग से शुरू होगा. Okay, and let's moving to the first one. Okay, so first of all, tell me one thing, like who is a software developer? Okay, even if you have आपने ये वाली टर्म सुनी हुई है like a software developer, but software developer है क्या? Okay, coding software, one who develop apps. ओके, application who deal with software, creator, programmer, process, debug, develop the software maintainer. ठीक है, मे बी आपके दिमाग में ये वाला आइडिया होगा कि सॉफ्टवेयर डेवलपर कुछ ऐसा दिखता है, ऐसा है कि नहीं है? एम आई राइट? ओके, सो बेसिकली द थिंग इज कि हम सबके माइंड में लाइक हैव दिस मेंटेलिटी, वी हैव दिस मेंटेलिटी कि जो डेवलपर है वो जस्ट पूरा दिन भर सिर्फ कोड करता रहता है. ओके, इट्स जस्ट नॉट दैट कि उसकी लाइफ सिर्फ कोडिंग कोडिंग में ही बीतती है. इमेजिन वन थिंग कि व्हेन वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट सॉफ्टवेयर डेवलपमेंट, व्हेन वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट सॉफ्टवेयर डेवलपर, उसका मतलब ये है कि वो क्या रहा है, ही इज डेवलपिंग द सॉफ्टवेयर. ओके, ही इज एक्चुअली डेवलपिंग द सॉफ्टवेयर. अब जब सॉफ्टवेयर बना रहा है तो यू नीड टू अंडरस्टैंड कि सॉफ्टवेयर बनाना इज समथिंग लाइक घर बनाना. तो जैसे आप घर बनाते हो, तो घर बनाने के लिए क्या होता है, पहले आप सबसे पहले डिजाइन लेते हो आर्किटेक्चर से. ओके, आर्किटेक्चर पहले आपको डिजाइन बनाकर देता है. उसके बाद जब आपको आर्किटेक्चर डिजाइन बनाकर देता है, उसके बाद आप क्या करते हो, उसके बाद आप बताते हो कि मेरे को, पहले आप रिक्वायरमेंट देते हो, और उस रिक्वायरमेंट के बेसिस पे क्या होता है कि आर्किटेक्चर जो होता है जो आर्किटेक्ट होता है वो बेसिकली डिजाइन बनाता है. एंड जब वो डिजाइन फाइनलाइज होता है उसके बाद चीजें आगे बढ़ती हैं. ठीक है, इट्स नॉट कि पहले ही गए पहले दिन में ही और घर बनाना शुरू. ठीक है, बिना कोई प्लानिंग बिना कुछ करे ऐसा नहीं होता है. सो दिस इज द थिंग. सो आई जस्ट वांट टू टेल यू, फर्स्ट वांट टू जस्ट क्लियर योर मिथ कि एक्चुअली में हु इज एक्चुअली अ सॉफ्टवेयर डेवलपर. सो नीड टू जस्ट अंडरस्टैंड वन थिंग, जब भी कोई सॉफ्टवेयर डेवलप होता है, ओके, जब भी कोई चीज डेवलप होती है, सपोज आप बनाना चाहते हो व्हाट्सएप, सपोज आप बनाना चाहते हो फेसबुक, सपोज आप बनाना चाहते हो कोई डिफरेंट एप्लीकेशन. So understand one thing, first of all, like even if you are creating an application for some other customer, अगर आप किसी कस्टमर के लिए एप्लीकेशन क्रिएट कर रहे हो तो सबसे पहले आप क्या करोगे, जाके पूछोगे भैया जी बताओ पहले आप क्या बनवाना चाहते हो. ओके, हम लिखेंगे, हम आपकी कहानी लिखेंगे. तो बेसिकली क्या होगा, ही विल गिव द रिक्वायरमेंट्स. सो व्हेन ही विल गिव द रिक्वायरमेंट्स, सो इन दैट केस व्हाट विल हैपन कि हम उस रिक्वायरमेंट को सारे पॉइंट्स लिखेंगे कि कौन कौन से पॉइंट्स हैं, कौन कौन सी चीज़ों से चाहिए, दरवाजा यहाँ पे लगा होना चाहिए, किचन इसका इतने साइज का होना चाहिए, बेडरूम 2 चाहिए, 3 बाथरूम चाहिए. ठीक है, सो ये बेसिकली रिक्वायरमेंट आएंगी. और उस रिक्वायरमेंट के बेसिस पे क्या होगा, डेवलपमेंट शुरू होगा. तो डेवलपमेंट में बेसिकली टीम डिस्कशंस होते हैं, डेवलपमेंट में चलता है, बग फिक्स होता है, डॉक्यूमेंटेशन क्रिएट होती है. तो सॉफ्टवेयर डेवलपर की जो ओवरऑल डेफिनेशन है, इट्स नॉट जस्ट दैट कोडिंग, इट्स ऑल्सो इंक्लूड कि उसमें जो टीम डिस्कशंस हो रहे हैं, जिसमें आप चीजें यू आर ट्राइंग टू अंडरस्टैंड दैट रिक्वायरमेंट, और आप उस रिक्वायरमेंट के साथ साथ आपने बनाना शुरू कर दिया. ओके, उसके बाद फिर आपने डेवलपमेंट करा, उसके बाद आपने उस पर बग फिक्स करे, आपने डॉक्यूमेंट किया. सो दीज आर द थिंग्स. सो दिस इज अ होल डेफिनेशन ऑफ सॉफ्टवेयर डेवलपर. ठीक है, सो नाउ इफ आई कम टू दिस थिंग, देर आर मेनी काइंड ऑफ सॉफ्टवेयर डेवलपर. ठीक है, सो सॉफ्टवेयर डेवलपर का भंडार है. सॉफ्टवेयर डेवलपर एक ही टाइप का नहीं होता है. मे बी यू आर थिंकिंग कि सॉफ्टवेयर डेवलपर तो सिर्फ लाइक यू आर ऐप डेवलपर, लाइक वेब डेवलपमेंट, यू कैन से दैट वेब डेवलपर, यही काइंड ऑफ सॉफ्टवेयर डेवलपर होते हैं. बट इट्स नॉट लाइक दैट. फ्रंट एंड डेवलपर होते हैं, बैक एंड डेवलपर होते हैं, गेम डेवलपर होते हैं, सिस्टम लेवल सॉफ्टवेयर के लिए लाइक दे हैव अदर काइंड ऑफ डेवलपर. सो देर आर वाइड वेराइटीज. So this is something like when I'm talking about software like this developing thing. तो when I'm talking about important skills for software developer, तो पहली चीज जो है, जब भी when I'm talking about important skills for software developer, तो first thing which is required is data structure and algorithm. Okay, और जो सेकंड चीज है which is very important is that कि आप डेवलपर किस चीज के बनना चाहते हो. Okay, mostly we will focus on that web development part. ठीक है, either you want to be a front end developer, either you want to be a back end developer, or either you want to be a full stack developer. आप किस टाइप के डेवलपर आप बनना चाहते हो, that is the second thing. बट फर्स्ट थिंग, जो पहला पायदान आता है, जो पहला स्टेप आता है, यू कैन से दैट विल बी स्टार्ट फ्रॉम डेटा स्ट्रक्चर एंड एल्गोरिथम. ओके, तो एक एक करके वी विल कवर दोज थिंग्स, एंड देन यू विल हैव द फुल क्लियरिटी कि बेसिकली ओके डेवलपर, लाइक द टॉपिक इज ना रोड मैप टू बिकम अ सॉफ्टवेयर डेवलपर. तो एक एक स्टेप करके हम चलेंगे. तो फर्स्ट थिंग इज इट विल स्टार्ट फ्रॉम डेटा स्ट्रक्चर एंड एल्गोरिथम. ठीक है, शुरू करें. ओके, ठीक है. So basically when I'm talking about data structure and algorithm, so let's come to this point. So the first question is why data structure and algorithm is so important for the companies. क्यों कंपनीज को इतना पसंद है डेटा स्ट्रक्चर एंड एल्गोरिथम, क्यों इतना प्यार है कंपनीज को डेटा स्ट्रक्चर एंड एल्गोरिथम से, क्यों वो छोड़ना नहीं चाहती. Why they want to put first round as that like that checking your data structure and algorithm skills, ऐसा क्यों. Okay, so we will understand that why it is actually that. Just answer me this question कि why JEE mains and advance is so important for IITs. क्यों इतना JEE mains और advance मतलब IITs के लिए ऐसे ही तो पहुंच जाओ ना IIT. क्यों इतना JEE main और advance देना. Second thing is why CAT is so important to get into IIMs. And so understand one thing, when I'm asking these two questions, JEE mains or when I'm talking about CAT exam, सारा जो रास्ता निकलता है ना, जो सारा रास्ता जो एंड जगह पे खत्म होता है, मतलब जो मेन गोल है, दैट इज प्रॉब्लम सॉल्विंग. फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल द फर्स्ट थिंग विच दे वांट टू टेस्ट इज हाउ योर प्रॉब्लम सॉल्विंग इज. आपकी प्रॉब्लम सॉल्विंग स्किल्स कैसी हैं. तो जब प्रॉब्लम्स के बारे में दिया जाता है कि दे जस्ट वांट टू सी कि आपका एप्टीट्यूड कितना है प्रॉब्लम सॉल्विंग का. बेसिकली इसको एक लेवल और ले जाऊं तो व्हाट दे आर डूइंग, दे आर जस्ट चेकिंग योर एप्टीट्यूड. ठीक है. तो अंडरस्टैंड वन थिंग, व्हेन यू आर गोइंग फॉर आईटी जेई, जब आप आईटी जेई के लिए जा रहे हो तो वहां पे दे आर चेकिंग योर एप्टीट्यूड ऑन पीसीएम स्किल्स, योर फिजिक्स केमिस्ट्री एंड मैथ्स. तो जो आपका पेपर आता है जेई मेंस और एडवांस का, सो वो टोटली प्रॉब्लम सॉल्विंग एप्टीट्यूड बेस्ड होता है, बट एप्टीट्यूड ऑन विच कंसेप्ट, फिजिक्स केमिस्ट्री एंड मैथ्स. सिमिलरली अगर हम आईएम की बात करें, आईएम का होता है वो बेसिकली टेस्ट योर एप्टीट्यूड ऑन क्वांट, वर्बल एंड लॉजिकल रीजनिंग. बट इफ आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट कंपनीज, कंपनीज किस चीज पे आपकी स्किल्स चेक करती है, वो चेक करती है डेटा स्ट्रक्चर एंड एल्गोरिथम पे कोडिंग स्किल्स. ओके, व्हाई दे आर चेकिंग ऑन योर एप्टीट्यूड ऑन डेटा स्ट्रक्चर एंड एल्गोरिथम, क्योंकि आप when you will join the software companies or these you can say that when you will join these kind of companies, so वहां पे आप करोगे क्या, at the end आप वहां पे डेवलपमेंट ही तो करोगे. ओके, तो जब आप आईटी जेई में जा रहे हो इंजीनियरिंग पढ़ने, तो बेसिक आपकी जो नॉलेज है, जो एप्टीट्यूड आपका चेक हुआ है पीसीएम पे, आईएम पे, क्वांट, वर्बल एंड लॉजिकल रीजनिंग. बट जब आप व्हेन यू आर गोइंग फॉर दीज कंपनीज, ओके, सो इसमें जो आपकी कोडिंग स्किल्स चेक होंगी वो होंगी डीएसए पे, डेटा स्ट्रक्चर एंड एल्गोरिथम्स पे. ओके, बिकॉज एट द एंड लिखना तो आपको कोड ही है वहां पे. एवरीवन इज गेटिंग इट. ठीक है. तो बेसिकली नाउ लेट्स स्टार्ट द जर्नी ऑफ डेटा स्ट्रक्चर एंड एल्गोरिथम. तो अब देखते हैं कि डेटा स्ट्रक्चर एल्गोरिथम होता क्यों है. पहले तो ये समझ लिया कि जरूरी क्यों है. ओके, अब ये समझते हैं कि डेटा स्ट्रक्चर एंड एल्गोरिथम है क्या. सो बेसिकली द फर्स्ट ट्राई टू अंडरस्टैंड वन थिंग, कि एक चीज में आई वांट टू आस्क वन क्वेश्चन. आपके मोबाइल फोन में इतनी सारी एप्लीकेशंस हैं, ठीक है, स्नैपचैट होगी, फेसबुक होगी, ट्विटर होगी, इंस्टाग्राम होगी, लाइक देयर आर लॉट ऑफ एप्लीकेशन यू हैव लाइक ऑन योर फोन. बट जब आप अपनी एप्लीकेशन यूज करते हो तो व्हाट यू आर एक्चुअली डूइंग, यू आर टॉकिंग टू योर फ्रेंड, यू आर रिलीजिंग द पोस्ट, आप पोस्ट कर रहे हो कोई चीज. ओके, यू आर पोस्टिंग समथिंग, यू आर सेंडिंग द मैसेज. ओके, यू आर शेयरिंग समथिंग. तो आप कर क्या रहे हो एक्चुअली में, व्हाट यू आर डूइंग, यू आर प्लेइंग विद द डेटा. एम आई राइट, यू आर प्लेइंग विद द डेटा. So basically when you are playing with the data, like टिकटॉक में क्या है, वही तो लाइक यू नो दैट ना, कि सब टिकटॉक में नाच ही रहे हैं, ठीक है, सब इंस्टाग्राम में शेयर ही कर रहे हैं, सब फेसबुक में बात ही कर रहे हैं, फ्रेंड्स ही बना रहे हैं. सो देयर आर लॉट ऑफ थिंग्स हैपनिंग, लिंक्डइन पे जॉब ढूंढ रहे हैं. बट द थिंग इज कि वहां पे लाइक देयर इज अ डेटा. ओके, फेसबुक में एक डिफरेंट काइंड ऑफ डेटा, लिंक्डइन में एक अलग काइंड ऑफ डेटा है. तो द थिंग इज कि इट्स ऑल अराउंड डेटा. सो दैट्स वाई हम इसको इन टर्म देते हैं बिग डेटा. बिग डेटा बेसिकली मींस डेटा बहुत ज्यादा है. ओके, देयर इज मतलब द डेटा इज अ लॉट. एंड इफ यू गो टू दिस वेबसाइट है इंटरनेट लाइव स्टैट्स, वहां पे आपको पता चल जाएगा कि कितने इंटरनेट यूजर्स अभी हैं, कितने गूगल सर्चेस हुए, कितने ब्लॉग पोस्ट आज लिखे गए. सो अ लॉट ऑफ डेटा इज एक्चुअली गेटिंग जनरेटेड. एंड यू मतलब लिटरली यू कांट बिलीव कि कितने लेवल पे डेटा जनरेट हो रहा है. सो अगर डेटा जनरेट हो रहा है, ओके, अगर डेटा की बारिश हो रही है, तो आपको क्या करना है. If there is a lot of data is generating, you can say that from the sky a lot of data is generating. आपको क्या करना है, बारिश होगी तो अगर पानी नहीं है तो क्या करोगे, बाल्टी लेंगे, कलेक्ट करेंगे. ओके, फेसबुक ने फेसबुक की बाल्टी ली है, एंड इंस्टाग्राम के पास इंस्टाग्राम की बकेट है, and LinkedIn के पास LinkedIn के bucket है. What they are doing, they are just collecting the data and then they are putting some analysis. So when I'm talking about data structure, तो data structure का मतलब यही है. Data structure का मतलब ये है कि we need to store the data. Okay, whenever we talk about कि if we have a lot of data, then where we are going to store it. So we are going to store, like we have something known as data structure. ठीक है, एक फैंसी सा नेम दे दिया. अब इसको हम बकेट नहीं बोलेंगे, इसको हम बोलेंगे डेटा स्ट्रक्चर.
Varun, just a request, can you please speak in English? The students are.
Okay, fine. So guys, basically the thing is कि when I'm talking about data structure, so data structure is all about storing the data. Okay, data structure is all about storing the data. When I was talking about like the Facebook application, Instagram application, what they are doing, they are actually using this as a bucket, collecting the data, collecting the flow, and based on that data they will do some analysis, and that is the algorithm thing, but that is a very separate thing. We'll discuss that later. But right now, when I'm talking about that data structure part, okay, data structure part is all about storing the data. Like in your home, you know that like you have masala dabbas. Okay, your mom in the kitchen, she used to have like these kind of masala dabbas because every day she used to prepare something like dosas, like idli, and paratha. Like a lot of dish are there. Okay, but the thing is ki like as I'm saying, ki like as your mom is using these masala dabbas, but the thing is ki every time whenever she want to search for any, whenever suppose she want haldi, at that point what she need to do, she need to search in like among all the boxes like where actually the haldi is present. Okay, one second. Now what she is doing is she's actually trying to she will search for haldi. But when I'm coming to this another kind of box, have you seen this? Like have you find, like do you know that about this box, like where you will find all the masalas at single place? So just tell me whether this one is the efficient way of storing, or this one. Second one. Okay. Why second one? Because it is organized and it is very easy to find. Like if you want to find for haldi, you just need to open the box and it is clearly visible to you. Okay, and what you will do, you will just pick that haldi, and in that case you like your mom will use it. So you can say that it, remember one thing here, what point I'm actually focusing about here. I'm focusing on this thing ki it actually matters how you are storing the things. It actually matters how you are actually storing the thing. So इसलिए फर्क पड़ता है. Okay, so when I'm talking about big bazaar, suppose if I'm giving an example of big bazaar, so you know that like suppose you went to big bazaar. Okay, suppose you went to big bazaar and you want to buy a shampoo. Now tell me one thing, like which bucket you will choose. Suppose you only want to buy one shampoo only. Okay, which bucket you will choose? Okay, maybe you are saying the red one, okay, या फिर no one, या फिर you are saying second one, third one, fourth one. But remember one thing, like suppose if literally you are going to the big bazaar, will you ever choose a bucket like if you only want to buy a shampoo? Because your hands are enough, na? Your hands are enough. But suppose if you want to buy like suppose 4 items or 5 items or 10 items. So in that case, your mind is actually automatically processing that ki which bucket you need. Okay, and suppose you want to buy 100 items, so you know that you want to take this trolley. Okay, so this is something like a data structure. So what we are doing according to our need, we are actually choosing our, you can say that we are choosing our bucket. Okay, so this is something like, this is in real life. We just want to say this thing ki in real life we actually play with these data structures. Okay, every place, everything which you are using to store something, that is known as data structure. But remember one thing, suppose you want to suppose you want to store your money. Okay, which thing you will use? You will use the drawer, or you will use the wallet, or you will use your almirah like to store your money, or a big locker. Okay, so you have this thing, you have this common sense in your mind na, ki I know that like if I have this money, why I want to store like this in almirah? I have my pocket na. So this is all about data structure. So now if I'm coming to this point, so similarly in our, you know that in our programming world, we have one of the data structure which is known as arrays. So arrays something look like this, where you can store some numbers. okay, where you can store some numbers. Similarly, array, the programming, you can say that the programming language is actually providing a different varieties of data structure. They used to say that if you want to like store data like in 1D array, either you want 2-dimensional or either you want 3-dimension. We have a lot, okay, which you want. Suppose as Big Bazaar is actually providing you these buckets. Similarly, our programming language is also providing you different kind of, you can say different varieties of data structure. ठीक है, इसका मतलब क्या है, हमारी दुकान भी बहुत बड़ी है. So don't worry about that. Now, if I'm coming to the application of arrays, like where actually we use these arrays. So like how many of you have used this application Book My Show or Redbus or flight booking or any kind of application? So you know that na ki jo sitting arrangement, like the sitting arrangement which is actually present in these you know that ki like in movie theaters, the sitting arrangement is something like in a 2-dimensional array. Okay, can you see that? Can you see a matrix? 12th mein padhi thi matrix. So you know that like this is actually in the matrix format. And now you can see that in our language also, when I'm writing the code, we are actually creating something like this. Okay, we are creating something like this 2D matrix. And based on that, whenever you are actually selecting a seat, so based on that, what is happening? So that seat is actually get selected because you want to watch that movie. Okay, suppose you want to watch, how many of you want to watch that Brahmastra? Okay, so now I know that your mood will get off, okay, after listening this. But okay, just I have taken the example. But the point here is that whenever you are booking this thing, so what will happen? The seat is booked. And in backend, in the background, in the like in your programming language, what you are doing, you are actually playing with these 2D arrays. Okay, yeah, that movie is actually one student is actually mentioning about Kantara. Okay, that's very nice. Okay, so suppose if I'm talking about this like another data structure, that is stack. A stack is something like when I'm talking about an ice cream. Okay, you know that you are actually putting a different flavors on top of the another. Okay, can you see that? Like first is the vanilla flavor, the second is the, you can say that no, first is the strawberries and vanilla. Like in this way we are actually putting the ice cream scoops. So this is something like a stack. And when you start eating it, so it will start from top to bottom. Can you see that? You are actually starting from the top and then you are coming to the bottom part. So this is something like how stack works. You are pushing something, you are actually popping out something. You want to put, so just push. And if you want to pop, so just pop and just remove it. So this is how stack works. This is also one of the variety. Okay, I am actually showing you, आप मेरी दुकान में आए हो, मैं अपनी दुकान में आपको stack दिखा रहा हूँ. Okay, so the second thing is like when I'm talking about application of stack. So suppose you are using a browser. Now imagine one thing, suppose you are opening this website. Suppose first you open google.com, then you open another website, youtube.com, then you are using facebook.com. Now you know that key, like if I show you an example, okay, suppose what you are doing, you are using google.com. Okay, now after using Google, what you are doing, you are opening facebook.com. Okay, you are opening facebook.com. And now after opening the Facebook, now I'll click on this one. Now you know that like at every time what you'll do when I'm like pressing this back button, so the last one is actually coming up. When I'm pressing the back button, the last one is the previous one is actually coming up. So this is something like where the stack actually used. Similarly, we have another data structure. ये हमारी दुकान का दूसरा मटेरियल है. आपको पहली सारी समझ, आपको पहला कपड़ा पसंद नहीं आया. I'm showing you the another cloth. The cloth is actually, you can say that my another product is linked list. Linked list is actually in this way. You can see that like there are nodes which are connecting in this way. You don't need to go into detail. It is something like a train, right? Okay, so if I show you the application of linked list, okay. So remember one thing, this is actually a song player application. So have you seen that? Like suppose suppose in your app, in this application, you are moving from song 1 to song 3, then song 3 to song 4, then song 4 to song 3, then song 2. Okay, I'm playing with this app. So why, like this is why linked list is the best option here, because you know that if I want to go from song 4 to song 1, I cannot go directly. I need to first go to song 3, song 2, then I can go to song 1. Okay, so this is what is linked list is all about. When I'm talking about graphs, you know that graph is everywhere. When you are using your Facebook application, so in your Facebook application, you know that you have some friend and you have some mutual friend. Everyone is actually connecting to each other. So कौन सा data structure, which data structure fits here? So the best data structure which fits here is the graph. And when I'm talking about Google Maps, so you know that like we have some nodes like Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, Kerala, like every place is actually a node which is connecting to each other. And that connection is something like you can say that is a road. Okay, and then which we can represent in a graph. So this is one of the, ये मेरा अगला product है जो मैं आपको दिखा रहा हूँ, that is a graph data structure. Okay, and now now after that, like after using that data structure, now what I want is I want to find like what is the shortest distance between Bangalore to New Delhi. Now you know that like there are three distances are coming. Okay, you can see that like from Bangalore to New Delhi, like from Tamil Nadu to New Delhi, there are three. You can say that there are three ways. Okay, how I can reach to New Delhi. So the best one. So best one is 1000. Now, like data structure is actually for storing something, but who is giving me this answer? Like I want to like if I want to find the shortest distance. So the answer, it's actually given by the algorithm. Okay, remember one thing, algorithm is actually the brain. Data structure is something like only a bucket. What it is doing, it is only storing all the data, but processing on it, how will you do the processing? So it is something like a brain part. Now we'll come to the part of 1 second. So basically, this is something like an algorithmic part. Okay. So remember one thing, when I'm talking about data structure, it is something like a bucket which you are storing something. Algorithm is something like when you are applying your brain. Okay. When you are finding something, when you go to the Instagram where you are finding something, okay, where you know that all the data is already present, all the videos are coming. But how the Instagram knows that you only want to watch these kind of videos only? Okay, when you're searching something, how the result is coming out, this is something like an algorithm. Jesse, like if I'm talking about Google and if I'm suppose searching upon Facebook, so who is actually giving me this answer? This is given by the algorithm. Okay, this is the code which is written back there. So data structure is only for storing. Algorithm is something like for your, you can say that whatever operation you want to perform. Okay, these are some sequence of steps. So now just answer me one question. If you want to make a tea, what is the data structure and what is an algorithm? Just quickly put in the chat. If I'm asking in about tea, like if I want to make a tea, what is the data structure here and what is the algorithm here? What is the data structure here and what is algorithm here? When I want to make a tea, okay, I मुझे चाय पीनी है. So suppose in that case, tell me what are the data structure and what? Yeah, right. Data structure is actually your bowl, your all other ingredients. You can say that you are like whatever elements you are using. And now, like as your bowl is actually your data structure, but what is an algorithm? Algorithm is add some water, add some tea, add some sugar, add some milk. Okay, so this is the step of the process. Can you see that? Like first do this thing, second do this thing, this third do this thing, fourth is the fourth step, like in this step do this thing. So this is something like an algorithm. And what is a data structure? That bowl and all other things which you are using in that process. Understood, everyone? Yeah, step by step instruction which you are doing. So you know that like whenever you want to use this Google map, so every time the application will ask you, kahan pe ho, where are you right now, where you want to go, okay, where you want, what is your destination and what is the source location. So it will ask for like for two location, and after that it will run the code, and after running the code it will tell you like what is the distance, what is that shortest distance which that algorithm find for you. Okay, so this is something like this. So I just want to tell you how data structure algorithm actually helped me. Okay, so I just want to share one of my experience. It is something like during my college time, I was working on a product, not a product, like on an application that is Wikipedia search engine. Okay, and the application is something like this. So it is actually taking an input, searching a word. Okay, so basically application is something like this. So basically, when I'm talking about this Wikipedia search engine, so we have at that time we have around 80 GB of data. Okay, and we have 80 GB of data, and it is something like, what is 80 GB of data? 80 GB of, you can say that, pages. You know that na, Wikipedia has pages, like Shah Rukh Khan, Mahatma Gandhi, like you will find a lot of pages. So 80 GB of pages we have of data actually we have at that time. And what I actually need to do, like in that application, I need, if I'm searching for any particular word, okay, so I will get the output of that particular page. So aap pe you have already have 80 GB of pages of data, and suppose if I'm searching Shah Rukh Khan, so in that case the output should be that page which is containing Shah Rukh Khan. Getting it? So basically at that point, what was the expectation? The expectation was that ki the expected output, the project, you can say that my teacher, my professor told me that the output should come at 3 to 6 seconds. Okay, it should not take like more than 3 to 6 seconds. But at that time, my output time was coming as 50 seconds. What does it mean? It is something like when I'm searching in Google and I'm searching, suppose, Facebook, and when I'm clicking enter, so now imagine that Google is giving me the result in 0.4 seconds, but imagine that the same result I'm getting in 40 seconds, 40 to 50 seconds. How torturous it is. Like, is it or not? So basically, if it is, you know that, like, is it so torturous that you cannot wait that much? So that's why this output time is not actually very good. So later what I did, actually, I reviewed my code and made some changes. I changed the list to dictionary. Okay, I made some changes. I made that change ki, like I was using this list data structure, and I changed it to dictionary. And later what happened, my output time actually reduces to less than 1 second. So this is the beauty of data structure, that if I change a single data structure, okay, it's something like, if I'm like during the time when I reviewed my code, I found that ki unnecessarily I'm using up like a useless data structure. And instead of that, if I use this data structure, my speed will go increase. So you can see that like the time increased, decreased drastically. Okay, it goes around less than 1 second. So that is the difference. Okay, that's why company used to prefer that key, like they used to check your data structure and algorithm, because when you are working on your product, so that data structure and algorithm actually matters. So now maybe you have this thought, like how to prepare for DSA for product-based companies. Okay, so how many of you have this thing? Like how many of you have this question like in your mind, how to prepare DSA for product-based companies? Okay. Okay, so let's see. Maybe you are actually you have this mindset. I have seen that a lot of students have this mindset. Even in the beginning, I also have this mindset that what I'll do, I'll buy a course, I will solve DSA 500 question, and then finally, I will get into a big company. Okay, so I used to thought that okay, this is the like traditional answer. Like even if I want to improve my if I want to improve my data structure and algorithm, only this step I need to follow, and yes, my work is done. Okay, but it's actually not like that. Okay, so in that case, the first thing which I want to ask is it true? So like I already said like no. Okay, so let's talk about the 5-step process. So the 5-step process is like, in the step 1, what you need to do is, remember one thing, I'm going like to each step one by one and try to understand one thing. The step 1 is you need to have a good understanding of basic concepts. Okay, सबसे पहले basic concept समझो. So first you need to understand one thing is like very good understanding of basic concept. Why we are learning this, what is it, how to apply. And when I'm talking about basic concept is, you need to understand that what are arrays, you need to understand that what are linked list, you need to understand that what are graphs. Like, I'm not going for a very advanced data structure, but I'm saying that minimum you should have that understanding. Okay, like what are arrays, why we use it. Okay, and what is linked list, what are the advantages of it, in which case we use it. So basically when I'm talking about this thing, so to answer these questions, the mentor will help you. Why we are learning this, mentor will help you. What is it, mentor will help you. But when I'm talking about how to apply, so major part, actually the student plays a major role in this part when I'm talking about how to apply. Okay, so we will go to that part, but first thing is, the first step is you should have a good understanding of basic concept. And I got these basic concepts like during my college time when we used to have the classes. So the professor used to teach, and mostly, if in your case, I can say that ki, matlab, in my case also, it's not that the college it actually helped a lot. It's just that that we have a lot of content on the internet. Okay, there are a lot of good platforms there are good courses, and there are very good teachers on YouTube also. And from there, so first you need to identify a very good teacher, and from there you can learn like these kind of things, like some like these basic concepts. Now coming to step 2, what you need to do, you need to solve right kind of problems. Okay, just focus on in this part, right kind of problem. It's not that any problem you start solving it, lead code khola and just randomly start solving the problem. So first, second thing is you need to solve the right kind of problem. So when you will solve those problems, then in that case, what will happen? You will get the understanding of that problem. You will understand that how to deal with errors. You will get some intuition around that problem. Sometimes hota kya hai na, like intuition, getting an intuition basically means getting the feeling of that question. Ki when you are solving it, and now you know that okay, like this is the logic which is actually behind your it is something like feeling of that logic. Okay, so that's why this second step is very important. And how actually like during my time, how actually I able to how I actually tackled this step 2. It was during my college time. Actually, there were my seniors. Okay, they used to share the problem. They used to create the contest for us. And at that time, like I able to get right kind of problems to solve. Okay, and from there you can say that like I able to find where I'm doing the mistake and these kind of things. But remember one thing, in step 2, dealing with errors is very important. So if I'm coming to step 3, the third thing which is very important is discussion with others. Okay, it's not that you have solved the problems. Now you need to discuss with others. Okay, discuss the approach, discuss new test cases, learn from others, understand multiple approaches. So you will understand these kind of things from whenever you will discuss with others, because everyone has their own approach. Even that like in your school time also, like every student used to have a different way of solving a problem. And if you are discussing with them, then you are also learning those approaches. Okay, so that's why step 3 is very important. Step 4 is discussion with mentor. Why I'm saying discussion with mentor? मैंने सिखाया, दोस्त से सीख लिया. Okay, if you if you understand from yourself, or if you understand from your friend, the very important part is like whether your solution or your friend's solution right or not. Even in your school days, you have seen that you solved a math problem in a particular way. Your friend is solved in another particular way, but teacher said that your both approaches are wrong. So that's why we need a mentor, so that we won't go to the wrong direction. So that is very important. Verification is very important. Now step 5 is when you have achieved the 4 steps. After achieving the 4 steps, the final step is you need to evaluate yourself. You need to give some kind of contest. So that there are a lot of contests used to happen in different platforms. Okay, and from there what you need to do, you need to sit on that platform, and you need to check how your mind work for like new problems, react for those new problems. Okay, so these are the 5-step process. Step 1 will give you the strong foundation. Step 2 will give you the understanding of the approach. One second. So basically, when I'm talking about step 1, it will give you the strong foundation. Step 2 will give you the understanding of that application. Step 3 will give you the different perspective. Step 4 will give you the clarity. And step 5 will give you the mastery on the topic. Okay. So that's why these 5 steps are very important. Okay. And you cannot leave this thing. Like everyone is getting this. Like why I was talking about these 5 steps. So strong foundation, understanding application, different perspective, clarity, and mastery of topic. Only then you can say that, okay, now you are very comfortable with those data structures. You can say that with those problem solving. Okay, it's just not that you have solved the question. Maybe your approach is not that right. Maybe you are like even you have written the right code, but the way you are thinking is actually not the thing. It's not correct. So that's why now if I'm talking about how to master DSA, so like I have you can say that previously I have taken a session with Masai like on this part, like on this topic, master data structure and algorithm. Okay, so you can actually directly follow this thing. Like when you will go there, so you will find that master data structure and algorithm from scratch. There I have actually shared a resource there. Okay, and from scratch I have shown what is the step-by-step process to achieve that thing. So now when I'm talking about important skills for software developer. Okay, so first thing which we have already covered, data structure and algorithm, front end, back end, And now the second thing which we'll talk about is web development part. So initially I told you this thing कि हम focus करेंगे web development पे. Okay, in this part, in this whole like session, we'll focus on that web development part. So first thing is covered. Now let's come to the next one. So first of all, how many of you like got some feeling around data structure and algorithm? Like, did you get the clear understanding of like what is data structure and what is an algorithm? Okay, nice. So now when I'm talking about the next part, okay, when I'm coming to the next part, so next part is web development part. Okay, so previously I said this thing, data structure part is very important. Now I'm like moving to the main part, that is this thing. And now if I move to this like this part, now if I ask you this question, like what is web development? Okay, if I ask you this question, what is web development? Maybe you will say this thing to me is कि web development is all about like developing websites. Okay, maybe you have a very common answer like for this question, कि just develop website, and this is something like what is web development is all about. Remember one thing, it's not like that. Okay, it's not like that कि when I'm saying that just develop a website. It's all about like it contains three things that is very important. Okay, the first thing is looks. Okay, the second thing is should work fast, and third thing is user experience. So I'll just explain you what is this look great is all about. Suppose you are going for like suppose you are hungry and you are going to any restaurant. Now what is the first thing which you will observe? What is the first thing which you will observe? You will observe now what is the like how the actually that restaurant is looking like. Okay, maybe you have a lot of money on your pocket and in your pocket, and now you want to like you are searching for any kind of restaurant. So the first thing which you will find is like how the look of that you can say that of that restaurant, because that is the first impression, and that's how it actually matters. So I just show you an example. So this is something like a website of an Apple. Now you can see that how like how in a very well manner they have actually worked on their looks part. Okay, it's something like that key everyone will get attracted with this way, like how they actually created the you can say that visual look. It's something like an amazing feeling it will give you. Okay, now the second part is when I'm talking about work fast. What is this work fast is all about? Suppose you went to a restaurant and the service is not great. Would you like that restaurant? You ordered you can say that you order a kadai paneer, you order a dosa, but it is actually taking 45 minutes or 1 hour to like get your order. Would you like it? So obviously you will not like it. Similarly, in a website case also, suppose if I'm opening any website and the website is taking too much time, even the looks are very good, I will not like it. I would say that like literally I don't want to go into that website again. So now that's come to the second part. So that's why working fast is very important. It's not just that the front end looking great is something like a front end, and when I'm talking about working fast, this is something like a back end, which is very important. Okay, ये नहीं हुआ तो भी बकवास, ये नहीं हुआ तो भी बकवास. Okay, so like both of these two things are important. Now what is this third thing? What is when I'm talking about provided the intended user experience? What is this user experience is all about? Maybe you went to a restaurant. Okay, maybe you went to a restaurant is looking very beautiful, and when you entered there you are getting a very good service. But now even you are saying that ki, okay, the restaurant is looking good, even the service is good, but you are saying ki, yaar, feeling nahi aayi. Why? Because the behavior of the waiter is not good. Okay, maybe you are not finding the things like in place. So there are many like there are small things which actually matters. It's not only about looks, it's not only about working fast. There is something like a vibe, right? There is something like a vibe. So I just want to show you in website case how it actually matters when I'm talking about like intended user experience. So you know that like I'm talking about the Google products. So you know that we have this Gmail, we have this Google Drive, and we have this calendar. And understand one thing, like they have placed a button here. And similarly in Google Drive, at the same place they have put this button. And in the third one, they have placed same but like similar kind of button here. Okay, you will find a hamburger menu here. So you will find like some kind of menu here, but you can see that the panel is also same. If you compare here, you will find that the panel is actually like similar. and you will also find this kind of thing. So every interface, whatever interface they have created, it's something like that कि आपको कभी नया ना लगे. Okay, you will not feel that thing कि okay यार मेरे को कोई बटन मिल ही नहीं रहा है, even if I am not unable to find that product. So suppose you are using Amazon or Flipkart and you are saying that ki Amazon user experience is very good because you are able to find all the things very easily. And suppose even if you went to Flipkart and you're saying that I'm unable to find anything, I'm unable to find that button, I'm unable to order it, because every time you are you're going to that website and you're getting confused. Okay, and like getting it or not. So that's why that is known as user experience. User experience means how I have put everything on that website so that I am able to find it very easily. So now when I'm talking about wide web development, you know that like in our, if I'm talking about our, when I'm talking about our browsers, so like browser will be our new operating system, like Twitter. You know that like even if you want to post something, even if you want to store something on cloud, even if you want to watch some movie, even if you want to order something, okay, there are a lot of things which you are actually doing on your browser. So you know that like how it actually got evolved with time. Similarly, if I'm talking about internet user, now you know that like with time, how many internet user actually increased a lot. Okay, so that means if internet users are increasing, that means what they are actually accessing, they are accessing the web. Web basically means they are actually accessing the website, they are accessing the platforms. So that's why you also know that key like evolution of the web, how it actually happened. It started from web 1.0, when you used to have only the website, like those kind of website where you only used to like read the content. When the web 2.0 came, at that point you also interacted with the web. Interaction basically means posting something on Facebook, like sharing the videos, these kind of things you are able to do in web 2.0. But when web 3.0, it is something related to security. Okay, so you can explore that part, like web 3.0 is something like decentralized, something like for your security, say, like so that you know that in web 2.0 there is a problem that our data is like these website, Google, Facebook used to take our data and give us the ads. Okay, so what they are doing, they are actually playing with our data. So it is something, some kind of security is there in web 3.0. But the thing is, can you see that like how it is actually evolving, how different technologies are coming, how different applications are evolving with this thing. So that's why I'm saying ki, like why this web development is like has a great future. You know that like Amazon also has a service that is known as Luna, where you can play online gaming. And when I'm talking about metaverse, you know that like you already have heard about it. Okay, and that's why Facebook also changes name to Meta. It's just that the new virtual world, it's like a complete different earth. Okay, it's like a different earth where you will create your own world. So just want to talk you about like when I'm talking about like a web development, it is mostly distributed like in these two parts, front end and back end. Backend is connected to the database. So this is something like a architecture you like this is something like how a complete web development actually look like. There is a front end, there is a back end, and back end is actually connected to the database. Okay, so when I'm showing this picture, so what you will understand from this picture? What you will understand from this picture? Front end is easy. Back end is unclear. Back end is messy and complex. Okay, try to understand one thing. If I show you this example, what you'll understand? Does it matter that ki backend should look beautiful? Does it matter that backend should look beautiful? It doesn't matter, na. Why? Because backend should be strong. Backend should be strong and front end should be beautiful. And how does it matter that if whether backend is looking good or not? Because it doesn't matter who, like no one is actually looking at it. But it matters that if backend is not actually strong. Okay, suppose you are you went to a restaurant and the waiter are actually looking a very like you can say that waiters are actually looking very beautiful, but the service of that restaurant is something like a very worst. Okay, the service is actually providing by that restaurant is very worst. So then how does it matter? Why you want to make that? You can say that when I'm talking about, okay, so that is actually a wrong example. It's not like that you will put a poor clothes to the waiter. But the main thing which you need to understand here is ki the backend, when I'm talking about here, the backend part, So backend need not to be like, you can say that it should not, it doesn't matter that if it is looking great or not, but it should be strong. And when I'm talking about looks, so it matters in front end. So similarly, when I'm talking about front end and back end, so for front end, the beauty is matter, but back end, it's something like it should be strong. So you will see that this picture when front end is ready before back end. So this is actually a picture of, you can say that a set, okay, where you where movies used to shoot. So you can see that there is front end, how it is looking, but there is no back end. There is no there is no foundation in the back end. So basically, when I'm talking about this thing, this web developer, so you know that we have three kinds of developer, like front end, back end, and full stack developer. Okay. So when I'm talking about these things, so you can see that we have three kinds of developer: front end, back end, and full stack web developer. So if I come to this one, so first, let's see that how to be a front end developer. Okay, how to be a front end developer. So the first step to become a front end developer is what you need to do is you need to understand first learn HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. So that is the first part. Okay, now if I'm coming to the second part, like what is actually HTML, CSS, and JavaScript is all about. HTML is something like a structure, and this is something like a CSS, and this is like a JavaScript. CSS is something like adding colors, and JavaScript is something like adding interactivity. Okay, so this is actually the whole picture of HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Everyone is getting it? Okay, so I'm taking a pause. Okay, I'm taking a pause of 10 to 15 seconds. Okay, then we'll continue. Okay, back. So basically, when I'm talking about this thing, okay, I was talking about this part. 1 second. When I was talking about the front end part, so how you can become a front end developer. Okay, so I'm just showing you the path for that. So the first thing which you need to do is you need to understand, you need to learn this language, HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Okay, so that is the core of front end development. And that is very important. I'll show you why it is important. HTML actually give you the body, CSS give you the colors, and JavaScript is actually giving you the interactivity. Suppose you are going to the, suppose when I'm talking about CSS, something like a CSS is actually a language, cascading style sheet. So basically CSS is something like through which you can add colors. HTML is something like where you can create the body. And JavaScript is something where you can do the interactivity. Suppose you are going to the Facebook, and now suppose everything is actually looking great. So suppose if I'm coming to this Google search, so you know that like everything is actually looking great. So you know that like HTML and CSS are there. HTML is something like a content. CSS, like you can see some colors. But what is JavaScript here? JavaScript is something like when I'm searching something here and it is processing and giving the result. It is something like I am able to interact with the web. So that is something like JavaScript is doing. So I just want to show you some example. So this is one of the example. So you can see that like this is the HTML code, which is actually giving the body. This is something like a HTML, which is giving the body. This is CSS, which is giving the color. And this is JavaScript, which is giving the interactivity. And how interactivity, can you see that? There is a text, which is come from the body. There is a color, which is coming from here. And this is JS. So suppose if I'm clicking here, you know that this line is actually got invisible. How? Because of this, because of the JavaScript code. And if I'm saying that instead of writing this, suppose if I write this, hello everyone. Okay. Now you know that like the text is actually, you can see that hello everyone is came here. So this is something like from a body. Now suppose if I remove this color, if I remove the CSS code, now let's see what will happen. So you can see that the beauty actually gone. Okay, it's something like a makeup, and now makeup has gone. Now you can see that how it is looking. So suppose if I'm saying that ki if I'm clicking on this button hello everyone, even that line is actually getting invisible because JavaScript code is there. Okay, so this is all about when I was talking about this thing. So when I'm talking about this thing, like what is HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, they play actually a very different role. Okay, so now just maybe you thought ki, yeah, why we are actually learning CSS? Okay, like does it matter? So now if I come to this part, now you will see that like this is a website. Okay, and just want to show you something very beautiful here. So can you see that there is a content here written? Okay, now suppose if I click on any of these one, so this is a one kind of style. Suppose if I click on this screen filler, now you know that like the content is actually the same. The beauty of design, CSS and garden, the road to enlighten, the content is same, but the beauty actually changed. This is like a different kind of makeup I've done. Suppose if I'm using another one, fountain kiss. So you can see that like this is like the content is same, but the styling is actually getting changed. So this is the power of CSS. So that's why it actually matters. Okay, so this is something like a CSS. Now I just want to show you a third example. Okay, I just want to a third example. I think you will love it. Can you see that? So basically, this is something like which is created using HTML, CSS, and Java. You can say that this is a JavaScript code. Now, what happen if I remove this CSS code? What happen if I remove this CSS code? Let's see. Can you see? Like what is happening? There is no color. The pandas doesn't have any kind of color. So this is something like a beauty of this one. Okay. So that's why I was talking about that HTML, CSS, and JavaScript has very different kind of things. So now the first thing is what you need to do is like first you need to learn these language, HTML, CSS mainly, and then step 2, after learning HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, the step 2 is you need to learn the JavaScript framework. Okay, the framework is something like React and Angular, Vue, or any kind like any framework you can learn. So, but now you might have this question in your mind: what is framework is all about? Okay, what is the framework is all about? Why I can't use the directly JavaScript on? Why I can't use the directly the JavaScript? Why I need to use the framework? Okay, so the reason for that is framework is actually giving you the structure. The framework is actually giving you the structure, and framework already has done a lot of work for us. So if I give you an example, just go back to your school days, okay, and imagine that you are sitting for your exams, and in your exams you are getting this kind of answer sheet. Okay, you are getting this kind of sheet, and where you need to write your answer. So suppose you answer question number 1, then you answer question number 2. Now you know that like in this one, if in this sheet if you are writing the answer, so it is your like maybe you are writing question number 1A, then you are directly writing question number 4B, then you are directly writing question number 5C, and then you're saying okay, now I remember that what is the solution for question number 1B also. तो आपने पहला क्वेश्चन किया, 1 किया, 3 किया, 4 किया, and then you are directly coming to the one question again because you are attempting another part. So now in this way, if teacher is actually checking your copy, they will get irritated. Why? One question यहाँ लिखा है, एक question दूसरी जगह लिखा है. Like it's something like one question you have written on your first page. The second question answer you have written on the third page. So this is very irritating. Okay, so that's why what school used to do is they used to provide a framework. They used to provide this kind of answer sheet where every question is written here, and they used to provide you the space. And now you don't need to do anything. You don't need to like worry about like where I need to make the spaces, like because the sheet is actually making sure of that. They are saying that okay, you need to write your answer only here. This is what the framework used to does. Okay, this is what the framework used to does. So it used to make sure this thing ki, basically you will write your code at proper place. Just 1 second. So basically, this is all about framework. When I'm talking about framework, it is something like they have done a lot of work for you. And now when they have done already a lot of work for you, you just need to fill the code. You just need to focus on the main part. You don't need to worry about writing a scratch from everything, like attaching the database and attaching all the different libraries. Like there are a lot of work which we used to do whenever we used to create the application. The framework is actually provide you that structure. Okay. So this is something like you see that like this is the vanilla. Vanilla app basically means you are using pure JavaScript. And this is something like when you are using the framework. Framework matlab React, Vue, Angular. Like you have seen that like there are a lot of framework, front-end frameworks are there. So framework is actually what framework is doing. Don't worry. I'll do a lot of work for you. You just focus on the work. Okay. You don't need to worry about like other things. And I'll make sure this. But when you are writing this vanilla basically means when you are writing from scratch on the blank sheet, then everything you need to handle. You need to handle the libraries. You need to handle the tools. Okay, you need to handle all these kind of things. You don't need to go into the detail, but I'm just showing you like what is actually the difference. So now the step 3 is what you need to do. You need to learn the front end design. Okay, so in the previous step, what we did, we actually learned the JavaScript. And in the step 3, what we'll do, we will learn the front end design technique skills, UI and UX. So that is known as UI and UX. So what is user interface and user experience? Okay, now I told you this thing. Like it matters that whenever you are creating any application, it matters that how you are placing the thing. Suppose you created an application like a food app, but you are unable to find that buy option. Suppose you are unable to find the add to cart option. You are saying that how irritating is it? I am unable to find that option. Okay, so that's why this thing actually matters. And if you are not putting the right thing on the right place, then in that case, what will happen? The user experience will get, you can say that it will get disturbed. Suppose you went to a restaurant, but you are unable to find the washroom. There is a washroom in the restaurant, but you are unable to find it. Now, what will happen to your mind? So you went to the restaurant, but you're unable to find the menu. Okay, even the service is great. Even the looks of that restaurant is great, but the experience is not great. Okay, so that's why the step 3, that's why I'm saying that the step 3 is very important, like how you are placing the things. And otherwise, then only you can say that your experience. So this is something like a UI, like a cup, how it is looking. And when you are drinking, what is the experience? Okay, getting it? Suppose you buy a cloth, and now suppose you buy you can say that dress for you, and now you know that like it is looking good. Okay, it is looking good, and the material is also good. But when you are wearing it, it is not comfortable. So that's why that is what is something like UI and UX. So now coming to the like after completing the front end part, so we have covered 3 steps. Okay, you know that like step 1, learn HTML, CSS, JavaScript. The step 2, learn JavaScript framework. Okay, and the third thing is learn front-end UI UX. So that is very important for a front-end developer. Now, when I'm coming to the back-end development, what is back-end development is all about? So back-end development is all about, it's something like, I told you, front-end is something like a look. Back-end is something like how you're working behind the picture. Okay, behind the picture, how execution is actually happening. So basically how you know that there is a team of chefs who are actually creating the food. Every time one order is coming, they are actually fulfilling your order. So this is something like about your speed. So this is something like about backend development. So now let's see what is the steps to like you can say that how to go into this path of backend development. What are the steps? So the first step is what you need to do. You need to learn a programming language. So you can learn Java, JavaScript, PHP, Python, because these languages have their framework on which is like for backend. So first thing which you need to do is learn a programming language and choose a framework. So first thing which you did is you learn a language and choose a framework. So these are the framework. For Python, we have Django. JavaScript, we have Node.js. For Java, we have Spring. PHP, we have Laravel. Python, we have Fast API. So for Python, we have also Flask. So this is the thing which I'm saying. I'm talking about only one language. एक ही language को पकड़ना. Just pick only one language and just move forward with this. And now step 2 is learn basics of database. Okay, you know that like whenever we are searching anything, suppose when I'm using any application. So like suppose if I went to this one, if I go to this website, zomato.com. So now in Zomato, like whenever we are going to any restaurant, from where these data is actually coming, this data is actually coming from the database. Okay, this data is actually coming from the database. So that's why I'm talking about key database is very important, because database have some information which is stored. So every time when I'm clicking on anything, so data, what it is doing, your backend is actually getting the data from the database and showing it to you on your screen. Okay, so that's why this is the place from where the data is actually coming. So that's why for backend, it is very important that you need to learn the basics of database. Okay, and you need to learn about what is RDBMS, how to create tables, what is schema. These are some technical terms. Okay, but when you will get into that database thing, then you will understand that what is primary key, foreign key, how to create relationship, these kind of basics of SQL. And when you will learn about all these things, then you will get the understanding, okay, how this thing is working. So that's why step 2 is very important. Now the third thing is, what you need to do is you need to learn a framework. Step 1 is language, like you need to learn the language. The second thing which you need to learn is the database. The third thing is you need to learn a framework. Okay, I told you what is framework. So the way we have front-end framework, we have back-end framework. And when you will learn the framework, then you will have the understanding that how the framework is working, what is model view and controller, how MVC works. Okay, you don't need to go into detail right now, but it is just some steps. What is MVC? What is REST API? What is ORM? These are some technical terms. And these technical terms, you will understand that how the whole architecture is actually of backend is working. And you can see that like your server, you can see that like here, it is actually connected to your database. Your website is there. This is your front end, which is connected to the server, which is connected to the database. Okay. So like these are the things which you need to learn. So basically, this is the thing. Now, when I'm coming to the next one, now step 4 is like after you have learned a framework, okay, SQL form for structured query language. Okay, like this is the this is actually the full form. So basically, what we used to do is like in SQL, when I'm talking about SQL, is something like you are querying something and your database is coming. What is query? Suppose if I'm writing something here, okay, if I'm writing something here, key dosa. So this is something like a query, like I'm putting something like a dosa, and what will happen on this query, the data, it is actually providing me the data. So now you know that like when you have done with the framework, then you need to learn how to create a CRUD application. Okay, just learn a create application, how to create, read, update, and delete. Okay, why I'm talking about create, read, and update and delete? Because every time whenever you are going to even any website, you are only doing this CRUD application only. Either you are creating something, either you are adding something, either you are deleting something. So only these kind of operation you used to do whenever you basically whenever you are exploring in the website. Okay, whenever suppose you are going into the Instagram, what you used to do, you post something, you delete something, you update something. Only these are the tasks which you used to do. So just create a basic CRUD application on that, and you will find a lot of videos and everything on YouTube on this one. Now step 5 is just start work on a clone project. Clone project is basically means like making a clone of Netflix, making a clone of, you can say that YouTube, making a clone on anything. As a beginner, you can do these kind of things, because you know that like there is a lot of resources which are provided already in the internet where they are actually creating the clones. So when you will create the clone, then you will get the understanding ki kitni tables chahiye, how many tables I need, what kind of database I need to use. These all understanding, these all question you will get answer from there. Okay, and what is a scalable system design of clone, and how to scale application, how to deploy the application. These all things you will get answer when you are creating a clone. Clone basically means, what is the meaning of clone? Cloning basically means I'm creating an exact copy of Zomato. I'm creating an exact copy of Zomato. Suppose you can see that like this is Zomato, and suppose if I'm designing something, so I'm creating an exact hubahu. Okay, so you know that like we have duplicate roles movies where we have actor has double roles. Okay, so it is just that making a copy of that one. Getting it? Now you can come to the main part. Okay, now you can work on some real world project. Okay, now you are ready to work on some kind of real world project. It's just that you can put some your hands on like some now you can take some kind of a real world project, and because you already have got this understanding, like how to create schemas, like how to create tables, how to like write the code of like basic CRUD and all these kind of things. Now you got the understanding and how to think in terms of design and everything. Now that learning you can apply on some kind of real world project. Okay, and now step 7 is join some some developer community. You will find those developer community in, you can say that on Twitter, or like there are many different platforms. Okay, even in Facebook also you will find these kind of dev community where are like there are many peoples. Okay, yeah, on Discord also, where are there are many people joined together and sharing their learnings. Okay, sharing their learnings like around that technology. Suppose you joined a React community where you will learn that, okay, what is actually happening in the React community, what peoples are learning, okay, what they are actually creating. Then there is a place where you will learn a lot. So that's why I'm saying step 7 is the dev community. Okay, now when I'm talking about this thing, can you tell me the difference? Because one of the application is actually created by a Masai students. Okay, so can you tell me like which one is the real or which one is the fake? Okay, just find this answer yourself. Okay, later later you will able to later just check. Okay, and just try to identify ki, okay, kaun sa real hai, kaun sa fake hai. Okay, maybe it will confuse you. Okay, because like most of the things are looking very, you can say that matlab ek jaisi. Okay, you can see that. Now when I'm talking about guess which one is original, so now I'm coming to the next one. So I just want to show you some Masai student projects. Okay, I just want to show you some Masai student project. So one of the project is Facebook clone. Okay, these are actually created by Masai student. You can see this URL. Okay, this URL is not from Facebook. This is not facebook.com, but this is actually looking like Facebook. So this is like a clone example. When I'm talking about clone, so this is something like an example of clone. So this is, they have created the Facebook clone. And when I'm talking about Instagram, you can see that this is the example of Instagram clone. Okay, and like here you can see that this is like looking as like exactly the same. When I'm talking about Myntra, you can see that these are the example of Myntra. Okay, so now after completing this part, I just want to share some learning with you. Okay, now we have covered the part like data structure. We have covered how to be like, how can you be a front-end developer? What is the path you can follow? The second thing which I was talking about is like what is the path for backend developer. Okay, now just want to conclude everything. Okay, now just want to share the final learning. The first thing which you need to keep in your mind is there are no shortcuts. Okay, you cannot say that okay, I'll just directly jump from step 1 to step 5. Did you remember that 5-step process for DSA? At that point also I said that most of the students have this thing in their mind, I will just solve 500 questions and I will be ready. Okay, there is a step-by-step process, okay, for each thing. And when you are following that step-by-step process, and you have patient, and you have that patience kind of thing, then automatically you will feel that, okay, now I'm growing. Okay, you will feel that difference. And now you can see that that's why I'm saying that enjoy each hurdle. Okay, that's why I'm saying that just follow the process and enjoy each hurdle. So now if I'm coming to the final note, that is like, as I said about this thing, there are like no shortcuts and you need to enjoy your hurdles. Okay, and enjoy each hurdle basically means you need to enjoy your process. Step 1, enjoy. Step 2, enjoy. Because if you are enjoying each step now, then only you will go to the step 2. And if you are enjoying that step 2, then only you will go to the step 3. इसलिए वो चीज maintain करके रखना, that is very important. Okay. And now the final note which I want to say here is कि even if you are ready, even if you have learned everything, even if you are ready with your front end and back end developer, even if you have learned the front end or back end development, but the main important thing is like finding the opportunity. Maybe there are people who have actually learned a lot and they actually knows a lot, but they are not actually getting a right kind of opportunity. Even if they actually Google comes to them and even like they have that capability, they can correct that. but they are not actually getting that kind of opportunity because ghar baithe baithe it's not something like ki someone will come, okay, just please try, please come in our company and we will interview you. It's not something like happen na. So that's why this is also very important, that even if you have learned everything, you also need a platform, you also need a place where you will get those opportunities, where you can try yourself. Okay, so that is very important. Even in Masai also, you know that like there are a lot of students which used to come, and they are also getting those platforms where they actually got these opportunity. Even you can also try yourself. We have platform LinkedIn and all, so that is also a very important part. Okay, so yes, like I've completed this part.
Yeah. Thank you, Varun. Thank you
Okay.
so much for this entertaining and interesting session.
Okay, sure.
I hope all the students like it. I really enjoyed this session. I understand, like, मेरे को भी feel हो रहा है कि I should become a software developer. And this question I want to ask all our students: how many of you think now you can become a software developer? In Hindi, I'll repeat it. कितने लोगों को लगता है कि आप वो software developer बन सकते हैं? Guys, let us know in the chat. So I think idea is quite pretty much clear कि कोई prerequisite नहीं है, कोई fundamentals नहीं चाहिए, किसी भी stream से हो, किसी भी degree से हो, किसी भी college से हो. If we have that zeal, if we are interested, like if we want to become something, हम बन सकते हैं. I think ये session ने काफी clearly बता दिया. Thank you so much Varun once again. और कल जो session होने वाला है, start होने वाला है. Tomorrow is the first session, which will be taken by Nupul himself. Nupul, who is the CTO and co-founder of Masai School, the person who has built this whole pedagogy, the person who has been CTO twice, who has worked in more than 10 tech stacks. मतलब जनरली हम लोग एक टेक स्टैक पे काम करते हैं, 2 पे करते हैं, नुपुल 10 टेक स्टैक पे काम कर चुके हैं. That person is coming tomorrow in the morning session. Guys, do come. Before jump into Q&A, Vivek, can you please share the attendance form to all the students? So guys, very simple. This is attendance form. You have to fill this form. Some interesting question has been asked. I'm giving you 5 minutes before Varun can take a water break. 5 minutes mein, please fill this form. Vivek, can you please share once again?
Yes. So everyone, I've already shared.
Yeah, just share it 2-3 times because students are generally writing it down. Okay, guys, please fill this form. This will be considered as your attendance also. Plus, the student, जो top 50 answers होंगे, they will get the Amazon voucher. The top 50 students, and the students who will be filling this form will get the Masai certificate of completing this workshop. Plus, they will also get free access to our tech portal, in which you can prepare all the kind of aptitude test. Plus, you will get recordings and PDF of all these sessions which are going to happen, right? So I'm giving you 5 minutes till the time we are collating the question, and then Varun will come again and answer all your questions, guys. Okay. 5 minutes दे रहे हैं सबको. Please fill it, and I'm looking for some interesting answers. How did you find this session, guys? Vivek, how did you find this session?
Oh, the session is it was just I mean I say I know Varun, but from my personal experience working in Masai School, we are employees, colleagues. So the way in which he takes the session, also altogether the examples which he gives, I can resonate to them altogether. It's like it becomes very easy for me to understand what he's trying to say, what he's trying to convey. There are very difficult jargons which when we talk about being a software developer, which comes into play. But Varun makes it easy for all of us to understand. And I believe, guys, all of you would have found out the session to be in the same manner. But again, repeating what Aman Singhal just said, would request everyone to kindly fill the form. I've already shared the link into the chat box. I'll share it once again. The reason it is important to fill the form is we will be selecting 50 responses out of all, and top 50 responses will be awarded a 500 rupees voucher. Also, I think Aman would like to continue.
Yeah, plus already we have told that all the students who are filling this form will get free access to our tech portal, in which you can practice your aptitude, because aptitude, I think, the logical part, building part, is the most fundamental you are going into any tech part, tech opportunities, right? So that is the today's session. Vivek, please collate all the questions of Q&A, and we can start Q&A in just 1 minute.
Okay. So
Yes.
guys, 1 minute more before we close this thing, and we'll be starting with the Q&A. Okay, so I know a lot of you are carrying, a huge weight of myths with yourself. That, sir, if I'm not from a CS background, how will be able to do coding? How will be able to learn coding? Because I'm not that much proficient in mathematics. So don't worry, guys. In a minute, I'll be me and Varun Bhatt, and I believe Amit Singhal will also be there. We'll be speaking about and busting all those myths, because this is, again, where we see bridging the gap between untapped talent and the in-demand jobs. It will only happen once you get out of that zone, once you get out of that cubicle.
Vivek, please share
Right?
the form one last time.
Okay, I'll do that.
Yeah. And guys, yes, Varun will be talking about these points. And the students जो पूछ रहे हैं PPT कहाँ मिलेगी, ये links कहाँ मिलेंगे? After 5 days, after completing the workshops, those who will attend all the workshops will get the PPT on the portal, on the free portal, which we are going to give you. Okay, so do attend all the 5 days, because this is a journey. आज हमने सीखा like कि how does the software developer look like? क्या करते हैं? There's a backend developer, there's a front-end developer, there's a full stack developer. कल हम जो सीखने वाले हैं कि if we become the developer, then how our career is going to look like. तब हम लोग क्या करने वाले हैं? And who better than Nupul, who has built this whole tech ecosystem for Masai School, who has done who is from IIT Kanpur, who has been in this industry for the past 15 years. So tomorrow we are going to have that session in the morning. I know mornings are tough. 10 a.m. might look tough, but if I ask myself if Nupul can come and join this session, I should also come and join that session, right?
People are already saying that today's session was wonderful. I would like to say this is just the tip of the iceberg. We have planned a really, really exciting 5 days workshop for all of you. And, if I think Aman you would also agree, and Varun would also agree, the prize is always in the process, guys, right? So just stay tuned to what we have, incoming in the next 4 days, different speakers, all together mastered in the particular background. Tomorrow, as Aman said, that we'll be having Nupul. So it's all going to be really, really exciting and great.
Yeah,
I think,
before we start this Q&A, just last thing, because so many doubts I'm seeing. Sir, we have low grades, we are not from this background. Can we do it again, guys? Let me be very frank to you. Masai, if you go to Masai website, go to Masai LinkedIn page, you will see the stories of the students, those who were security guard, those who were rickshaw drivers, those who have just cleared the 12th class, has become a developer now. Because the pedagogy, the way of teaching has been designed in such a manner that anyone can learn how to code. सिर्फ एक चीज चाहिए, सिर्फ एक चीज, without that तो life में कुछ भी possible नहीं है, and that is the zeal that you really wanted to do it. The intent is one thing that we need from all of you. With that, I think, Vivek, can we start with the Q&A?
Sure thing. Hi, Varun. Good evening once again.
Hi, Vivek.
So today, as always, I was also a student in your session. Thank you so much for covering, the whole aspect of a journey as a software developer. How will it look like? So beautiful. So we'll start with the first question. And guys, I want all of you to stay tuned and be all ears to this. The first question is, what if, sir, I'm not from I'm from a non-computer science background. I might have done English honors, I might have done psychology, or I might have done, economics or any such course, but it is not computer science. So can I also do coding?
Yeah, actually, there are a lot of examples in Masai already, like which they are not even from mechanical background. Even I'm saying, if I'm saying ki even from the engineering also, if I don't consider that, there are students from art, there are students who actually just now passed 12th. And I have seen this thing. This is a kind of field where you just need some time, some patience, and you automatically grasp all the things. It is just that there are some few things, few concepts, few subjects, and you will feel that okay, now yaar, mere ko to aa gaya. It's not that complicated. I would say this is not something like mechanical engineering, civil engineering, that you need to create a building. Okay, just like with a few steps.
Awesome. I think it answers a lot of your question, guys. Another apprehensive and curious user would want to ask that, sir, I'm not that much strong in mathematics, right? So will I be able to learn coding, and will I be able to take it forward and start my journey as a software developer? Is maths really required to become a coder? That is the question, Varun.
Basically, I would say that basic aptitude like there is a basic aptitude which is required, okay, but it's not like you need to be a very good in mathematics and then only you will able to learn the programming thing. It's just that ki while learning, like during the learning process na, you will also increase your aptitude part, because eventually problem solving comes to that matlab in this data structure and algorithm part. बट इतना कोई मैथ्स की जरूरत नहीं पड़ती है जितना एवरेज है ना, मैं भी एवरेज ही था, ओके, एंड इतना एवरेज ही काफी है. So you don't need to be like very great in mathematics or something.
Great. I think this also answers a lot of your questions. I think the myth here is now busted. We do not, in order to become a coder, in order to become a software developer, you do not need to be a prodigy in mathematics. However, you should just have basic, aptitude. I think it's basically, spread around the addition, subtraction, plus minus, and the basic unitary method which we have learned in our 10th class. Another question would be, sir, which programming language should I learn then? Or the bigger question here would be, from where do I start? I mean, a lot of students here want to become a web developer. This is something which I can vouch for, but they are really worried that where to start from, which programming language to learn first.
Okay, so basically, like you can start from any programming language, it doesn't matter, because all the programming language basic concepts are same, even if I'm talking about loops, conditional, or anything. But the main thing is, if you want to identify which language you want to learn, which path you want to follow, first identify your goal. Whether you want to be a web developer. As a web developer, JavaScript is the most famous popular programming language. And in that case, you can choose the JavaScript path, like for front-end development. If you want to go for backend, so you can choose Python, Java. So the one thing is, initial level pay programming language, any language you can choose. Okay, that is fine. But like later, if you are saying ki after that, what should I do? So first you need to see all the paths. There are also a lot of content present on the internet where you will find ki backend mein kya hota hai, front end mein kya hota hai, and now you can identify ki aap apne aap ko kis tarah se dekhte ho, how you see yourself, and then you can take that path of learning frameworks and all these things.
Very right. I would totally agree with you. I think you should start with exploring what all you are having onto your table. And then I believe that down the line, you will definitely start to find out what your actual niche is. Yeah. Rahul Lodi here is asking a question, kind of interesting question. Sir, is competitive programming necessary to become a software developer engineer?
बिल्कुल भी नहीं. Okay, competitive programming is something like only if you have interest. ठीक है, आपको कोडिंग करने मजा आता है, आप जाओ competitive कोडिंग करने. That is a different kind of game. It is something like going for a mathematics Olympiad, but it's not actually necessary. मतलब it's not you are saying कि very important to become a software developer. Average लोग भी software developer और बहुत बढ़िया software developer बनते हैं. But the thing is, software developer में जो thinking चाहिए होती है, the thinking which needs in software development is actually different, because you need to like work with team. Okay, you need to discuss the thing, you need to get the requirement, you need to fix the bugs. Okay, and also you need to do the documentation part. So there is a 80-90%, you can say 70-80% of the time is actually went for documentation. So don't have this thing in your mind कि competitive program वो उनके लिए जिनको पसंद है coding, so they go to those platform and just do coding.
Hope that answers your question. Another question, I think, which Anushika is asking is, as data structures and algorithm is a vast subject, so how can one get through it? I mean, if you can just address it in a collective manner.
Okay, she said worst subject.
No, it's a vast subject. It's a broad subject. So how can you get through it?
Okay, it's a vast subject. So basic thing is ki there are some basic data structure and some basic algorithms. You don't need to be, you can say that ki you don't need to be, you are saying ki there are a lot of topics even, but you know that even in our childhood also we have a mathematics and we also have statistics, but there are some some common topics which is very important, like unitary method, ठीक है, कुछ profit loss, ये कुछ चीजें हैं जो which we also use in our general life. But there are also extreme topics, determinants, matrix. Okay, it's not like you need to go in that depth. Similarly, in data structure also, there are topics. Okay, so remember one thing, if there are 20 topics or 50 topics, you don't need to cover everything. There are 10 very popular topics जो आप सुनते ही सुनते हो. क्या topics हैं? Arrays, linked list, stack, queues. Okay, like these sorting. So these are only the hot topics and top topics which you need to cover, and that is fine. And later, if you need to learn more, basically suppose if you are getting that requirement that you also need to learn another data structure, वो उस समय पढ़ लेना, बस जो main चीज है वो तो आपको आनी चाहिए.
I hope this clears your doubt. Now I'll just ask and start with a very, very basic question. It's like literally very basic question. And I think that someone whoever asked that question is very just. It might be relatable to a lot of you. Someone here was asking Varun, if I become a software developer engineer, what would be my day-to-day role in companies? Like, if you can tell me overall, what would I have to do? What would my job look like?
Okay, so basically in software development companies, product is already created. Don't think you will be going to involved in a new product. ठीक है, वो बहुत rare होता है. That is very rare. Already the product is there. Even if I went to EA, so at that time product is already there. When you are going to Microsoft, product is already there. When you are going to some another company, product is already there. But what you are doing here is you are actually working in any particular domain. Suppose you went to Amazon and you are in the payment team. And then what you are doing is you are actually adding some feature, like removing it, updating some feature, like these kind of things which you are doing. So in a day-to-day, when I'm talking about as a software developer, what actually happens is your manager allocates some kind of feature to you. Okay, we are working on this product. Okay, and the product is already created. Already people are using it. Okay, but these are some features which we are working, which we are trying to improve, optimize it. And now suppose there is no credit card system on Amazon. So what they are doing, they will put that as a feature. Okay, now we'll work on this feature so that everyone can also like pay with this credit card option or something like that. So it's something like it's not upon the whole overall product. It's just that on a particular feature. And every day what you used to do is you used to work on it. You used to document it. And after document it, you used to give to the tester. Tester used to test it. And after that, if tester used to find okay, still that issue is not resolved, it will give it back to you. So in your day-to-day life, you will find that आपने ball वहां फेंकी फिर ball यहाँ आई. It's something like that. Because you solved that problem from your own perspective, na? But when tester used to test it, it used to test it very rigorously. So yeah, these things used to happen as a software developer.
Guys, one more thing. I hope that answers most of your questions. One more thing here. I'm seeing a lot of questions that, sir, मुझे कॉम्प्लेक्स है कि मैं कोडिंग नहीं कर सकता. मैंने कोडिंग कोशिश करना स्टार्ट की थी. मैंने स्टार्ट किया, मैं वेबसाइट्स पे गया, मैं हैकर रैंक पे गया, कोशिश की मैंने, लेकिन मुझे बहुत डिफिकल्ट लगा. तो सर, how can I move forward and what is that motivation? So guys, let me tell you the motivation here. Here in Masai school, we have literally lifted out over 200 families out of the below poverty line, right? Now just hear that once again, just let that settle in it. So we have made successful the students who were not even having a coding background or a CS background. The only thing which they were having was sheer dedication to earn a double-digit salary. That is very first, because everyone wants to earn good money, right? And this is a profile which I think it's I know a lot of you here are talking about layoffs, right? But that is totally a decision which is sometimes irresponsibly made by the company co-founders and directors. We cannot really comment on that. But if you talk about how famous the profile of a software developer engineer is, it is literally onto the clouds. Let me tell you the reason. The whole world is now coming online, right? In order to showcase your products, you'll have to have a web developer, to create a website. Once you'll be creating a website, you definitely want to have a lot of features. So definitely software developers, again, you definitely want to maintain those features and, fix any bugs if they are coming anyway. So definitely we need software developers. So if you talk about how famous is the profile, it is on top of Cloud9, right? Another question which I would take it from what I just said is, today everyone is trying to become a developer, right? Every field has its own era. This era is of computer science now. Everyone today is trying to become a developer because they know that this profile has got a lot, in its for them. So, how does it help? How will I be able to get good opportunities? How should I get ahead of the crowd here? That is a question.
Okay, so basically the thing is as I said in the last you need a platform. Okay, even if you are very popular on YouTube, companies will start looking to you and they will start approaching you. Even if you are in LinkedIn, if you are very popular, okay, and you used to you have done with something very good, एंड लाइक बस ये वाली बात है कि उनकी नजर पड़नी चाहिए आप पे. And this is the first kind of thing. Okay, even if you are, the second option is when you are in very good colleges, because in good colleges the good companies used to come. Okay, and you get that opportunity even if you are good, like in software development, you can say that in DSA, backend developer, anything, the companies will look to you, because you are getting that opportunity. But अगर प्लेटफॉर्म नहीं है तो even if you are learning like anything, मतलब even you are good at it, but companies को नहीं पता, क्योंकि companies have a lot of options. Okay, so this is why that is very important. So even if I'm talking about Masai like as जैसे placement department है, so students are paying, even they are from non-programming background. Okay, and they are finally coming to that last unit, and at that point they are sitting in the placement. So companies are coming and they don't have like that much idea about that person, but because they are only seeing their skills. So the thing is कि platform चाहिए होता है at the end.
Another question which I would like to take, some of you are asking that, sir, is degree important, in order to become a software developer? That is A. And would companies be hiring me even if I would have done a course from a science software development or full stack web development for that case? So let me give you the answer of this question very straightforward. We have had thousands, literally thousands. There are more than 4,000 students who have graduated from Masai school, and on a current rate, if I talk about today, 7,000 students are currently studying in Masai school. So, Varun, but since he's my colleague, we usually joke within ourselves that Masai school today has become a mini university in all its manner. So definitely, guys, what you need to understand is, and I think Varun would also agree, what companies are looking forward today is if you can solve the problem statements which they're having in their companies, if you have right skill sets, right? If you have right skill sets, if you can solve the problem statements, your background won't play much larger role whenever you'll be giving your interview, right? So this is, again, I'm repeating, right? If you're able to have right skills and if you're able to solve the basic of the problem statements, you'll get hired. You'll get hired. That's it, guys. Right? Awesome. Another question is, how many languages do I need to learn, Varun? So if I'll be starting my journey as a software developer, let us say that I learned Java, or let us say I learned C++, and I have gained mastery in that particular language. Will it stop there? Will my learning stop there? And can I be a software developer earning 40-50 lakh rupees per annum? Or do I have to keep, keep learning? How does it sound like?
Basically, first of all, as I said, it's something like if you learn any of the programming language, okay, basic concept of like all the languages are same. Even if as I said, loops, conditional, anything, सबके same hai. It's just that the way we used to write it is actually different, a syntactical part. And even if you have a very good understanding of one language, you can learn any language. It's just that. And from that part, like if you have, suppose if you have a very good grasp in 2 languages, now you don't need to think कि अब मैं इसके आगे क्या पढूं. पहले ये first try to identify which path I want to go. So suppose you want to go for the front-end developer, you like that. Suppose you want to explore both of them. So you choose that language and just move forward, just like a JavaScript. JavaScript has a front-end also and back-end also. So that will help you a lot. And maybe many people used to see, used to listen from other which language fascinate them a lot. So even if I say according to survey, if I say JavaScript is at the top, according to the Stack Overflow survey also, they used to say that जो ज़्यादातर लोग जो इस पे काम करते हैं, that is JavaScript. But it's your choice. It doesn't matter कि जो popular है उसी के पीछे भागे. Just what interests you a lot. Maybe you get interested with Python. That is fine. So yeah.
Hope that answers the question, guys. Another question, and I think a lot of you might want to hear this out now. So keep your ears open. The question here is, Varun, what is the highest CTC which as a software developer can one earn? I'll tell you, before that, I'll tell you about Masai school. A student of Masai school had got 36 lakh rupees per annum. Now guess what? He was from a non-coding background. Your all myths are busted now, right? Varun, over to you. What is the highest CTC which I can reach by becoming a software developer engineer?
So, you are saying for any kind of student, no?
I think it's an individualistic question, but just to let them know, it all totally depends upon the skills, the mastery of the skills they'll be developing. But if you can just give an idea about it.
Yeah, actually, there's no limit because मैंने तो highest से highest सुने हैं, like it's something like going to crores time, but मतलब it's something like with experience you are actually also achieving that level. But yeah, there is no limit actually, because the more better product you are working, and like the more best package you are getting.
That is what I wanted to hear. No limit, guys. No limit. Literally no limit. Solve the problem statements, gain that kind of mastery, and I think I would like to say this. Whatever CTC you might be dreaming about right now, whatever CTC might be, you want to achieve, you can go much higher than that.
One more thing. Even suppose with your own language, you created your own product, and now you are actually having your own startup, and now other companies are actually paying you for that. So these things are happening. Many people are actually creating their own product, and people are coming. Suppose if I'm talking about one of the platforms like Zepto, जो अभी recently आए हैं, तो मतलब these are things, these are the product which are created. So yeah, so that's why there is no limit.
No limit, guys. Literally. I would just take 5 more minutes to answer a question before we hand over the session for closing to Aman Singhal. So I would love all of you if you can let me know some unique questions, some unique doubts or apprehensions or myths you might have come across coding within your household or amongst a group of your friends. Just let me know. I'll just pick up a question from the chat box. Okay, I think we'll just take this last question coming from Mohammed. What he wants to know is, sir, how can we work upon building our logical reasoning? Since you said that if you want to learn data structures and algorithm, definitely you'll have to polish upon your logical building and basic aptitude. So is there any way we can build upon that and maybe gain a kind of mastery over that?
देखो यार, बेसिकली ना, like जिनका लॉजिक अच्छा होता है, like we used to see those kind of student also जिनका लॉजिक बहुत अच्छा है. The reason for that is कि उनको पसंद है वो चीजें करना, and जिसकी पसंद हो जाती है ना, वो तो सोते सोते भी उसी को करेगा. And if I give you any kind of discipline कि just do that thing, it is something like I'm enforcing something on you. First of all, there are a lot of ways to apply logic on from your brain. So like there might be different ways. Maybe you like to solve maths. Maybe you like to solve some Sudoku. You like to play chess. Okay, there are different ways. So just go in that path. क्योंकि वो एक ऐसा path है ना, वो जो दिल से लग जाएगा ना, तो उसके बाद ऐसा होगा कि उसको force नहीं करना पड़ेगा. तो there is no strict rule. It's just that दिल की बात है. तो आप उस path में जाओ. Logic building के there are many ways, but it's just that कि just follow that path कि आपको कौन सी चीज interest कर रही है, and apply your logic on that. I have seen many students who don't like not having very much interest in mathematics, but have an interest in data structures. So they used to solve those problems and keep on solving that problem, and every time when that solution is getting accepted, they are also getting that adrenaline. Okay, yaar, ab next wala bhi karta hu. So yeah, that's that's what I want to say.
Thank you so much, Varun. I think it was a lovely session. I think we are ready to conclude our day 1 of Masai Carnival session. And guys, something which I would like to again convey before Aman takes this up. What matters and what it all is about is the attitude, right? If you are willing to work hard, does not matter what background you come from, does not matter how much failure or what percentage you might have scored in your 12th or your graduation. If you want to change your life, I think you should start right now and not procrastinate. Over to you, Aman. Thank you so much.
Very well said, Vivek. Very, very well said. If you want to do something, you can achieve it. Just have that intent, just have that zeal. And if you want to do something, start it today. Do not procrastinate it. As an experienced person, I can tell you that, in my, when I was in college, I have done this thing. I used to be so much afraid of coding. In my first year, I decided that I will never code. And once I started, going into data field, data analytics, and it's almost like logical building, coding. You cannot leave that part. Anyone, even if you're going to become a core engineer, even if you're going to, work in a government office, Excel is the basic tool that you have to use. What is Excel? It's a mix of logic and coding, right? So this is something which you cannot separate from your life. So stop fearing about it. Stop worrying that stop giving yourself an excuse कि भाई मैं तो मैकेनिकल से हूँ, मैं तो बीए कर रहा हूँ, मैं कोडिंग नहीं सीख सकता. नहीं. As Varun says, there is no limit. We have seen that thing. Initial is very, like start is very big, and the end I haven't seen end. So it's like the way lakhs, crores, I've seen everything with my friends and family members. Like, yeah, they are doing it. So with that parting note, I will say, I think, yeah, I don't think there can be a better start to day one of Masai Coding Carnival. You have shown a good amount of intent by, like, I'm just going through the form that you have filled. Almost every single individual has filled. So many witty answers were there. So many good answers were there. Yeah, I would love to read all of those. And with that, I'll invite you to day 2 of Masai Coding Carnival tomorrow. That will start at 10 a.m. with Nupul's session. So I love to see all of you there. Good night, guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Aman. Thank you so much, Varun. I would like to thank all of you guys from the bottom of my heart, and more importantly, Masai schools, because gratitude is something which we show, right? Since you all have taken out this time to attend, we thank you from the bottom of my heart, guys. Tomorrow we are having another session starting on from 10 going on to 12. We have multiple sessions aligned for all of you. Tomorrow's topic from 10 o'clock would be, building your career in tech, right? And guess who is coming? The CTO, the Chief Technical Officer of Masai School, Mr. Nupul Dev. Now he's a person in its own. I'll just introduce him tomorrow, and you'll know that how much special he is. Thank you so much, guys. Good night. Have some food. Maybe rehydrate. Thank you so much. Good night. Take care, all of you.
Thanks. Yeah.